Hello, and welcome to another scene setting in the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York. As the scene is set alongside Silverfang's Soul Porch number 2, or as Jacob likes like to call it, Tea Time Camp number 1, the infamous cabin area where Jacob pretty much is in tea time perpetuum, with figures of William, 10 Point, and Aiden, even Aiden from time to time, as he comes and goes. And Jacob has invited Chloe over to give her a distraction due to her husband's departure, and give the pack further opportunities to bond, as it's not something they're always able to do regularly. And yeah, he is inside the cabin. The door is open. He has baked some cookies, which yeah, chocolate chip cookies, because chocolate chip cookies are frankly wonderful. And has also set out some tea. So it's a wonderfully what would you call it, a droll affair. It's
tea and cookies. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Remarkably genteel, as Silverfangs are.
Huh. Well, she is not a Silverfang. However, she is aware of, Jacob's Silverfang proclivities. It's okay. But yeah, she's probably gonna, if it's in the same area as all the other cabins, she's probably not very far anyway. She's kind of made herself a little bit of a place over on the Cub cabin porch, because that's just makes sense, really. Keep an eye on those people who keep trying to run away. But yeah, she'll head over that way. Just kind of taking her time, because she's not like in a huge rush at the moment, which is pretty nice. Her tasks for the day have been pretty much done. And yeah, he said if as in the door is open, or just not locked.
It's like there's like a little door stop, so it's kind of like it's not fully open, more in it's just like it's slightly tilted open, so if anyone arrives...
Oh my god, somebody broke in and stole things.
Yeah, they stole things from this largely empty cabin. With a bed, a TV, and an oven. I guess you could steal the TV and the oven, I guess.
It's probably a really old, terrible oven anyways. Well, those kinds you have to turn down 25 degrees to bake anything properly.
Oh god.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. Yeah, so if it's kind of slightly open, she'll just pause for a moment. Assuming he's inside, it's probably not hard to tell that, he's got to know her scent by now. She's clearly pretty close, and the door just sort of starts moving a little bit, and she sort of opens it enough to stick her head inside and peek. Because it's just weird when a door is partly open. So she's peeking.
Jacob can smell Chloe from a mile away, and then we'll just say, it's okay, you can come in. I left it open.
Yeah, she knows he's there too. To be fair, they kind of know this shit by now. Okay. She just kind of she'll open the door and walk into the empty cabin and sort of close it behind her, because don't need random people wandering by and hearing bits of conversation. I don't know what the setup of this thing is like, so is it just like a table and chairs, or what?
It's like let's see, it's a small cabin, so what would there be? There'd be some seating. There'd it would be like a really small dining area. So he's probably done. There's like a sofa, and he's probably like there's a little small table, like little table in front of it where you put snacks or something, and he would have just put like a tea and stuff
Okay.
all there.
She'll just kind of walk over and she'll kind of grin at him for a second and then sort of just drop very ungracefully. She's clearly just not worried about looking pretty, if you know what I mean. She just kind of like plop into this chair, like near, like either across from him or next to him or whatever makes sense in the scenario. There's clearly a comfort level here.
A discomfort level or a comfort level?
A comfort level.
A comfort level. Yeah. Yeah, no, the table isn't obstruction. It's like, it's below the height of the actual like sofa cushion. So it's very small.
Okay. That's fine. She looks tired, but nothing overly crazy. Not like she doesn't look like she's gonna be like, about to rage out on you or anything. She just looks tired at the moment.
Speaking of tired, Jacob actually looks fairly tired. It looks like he's making very much an effort to not look tired at all, but it's fairly obvious that with all the commotion recently, and the fact that he's taken a bit of time out to do this, that he does appear a little bit. He clearly hasn't had a break today, or perhaps in the past 3. He's pretty much seems to have been on the go non-stop, and especially in addition to his actual living job.
Fair enough. He's just gonna look at him and just be like, "It's okay. I think we both need to relax. Let's just drop the game, and we can just sit here and we can chill. Sound good?"
I think that sounds good.
Okay. And I did not tell the Cubs where to find me, so if they find me, we're just gonna pretend I'm not here. That's all. It's all good.
That's okay. I'll just pretend no one's home or anything.
I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. It blipped out on me.
Oh, sorry. He just said, that's fine. We'll just pretend no one's home or something.
We'll like duck and hide under the windows. Nobody will see us here.
It's like those old
sitcoms.
Yeah, those early sitcoms where they just pretend no one's in.
Yeah, like when the mother-in-law comes over.
Yeah, they just want to avoid their like over-enthusiastic neighbors.
Oh my god, I can't see them right now. I'm wearing her favorite dress.
Jacob seems to slump back in the sofa a little bit as he relaxes. Appears to enjoy it greatly.
She'll kind of pause for a second, even as one of her hands is definitely reaching for a cookie because there's no denying the cookies.
There's no denying the cookies. Cookies are good. I didn't roll for the cookies, but we're gonna say he had enough time to actually get a success on the roll, so
that's fine. I'm not going to question the quality of your cookies. And she's just going to kind of look at him and be like, it's also really nice not to have people bowing and scraping everywhere I go just for a minute. I think I spend more time telling people to like stop submitting than I do anything else.
It's kind of annoying because you have people that you don't want to put pressure on anyone or anything, but if someone's not doing it, you're not sure if they're deliberately trying to disrespect you or not, so it's hard to figure out.
It is, actually, but wait till you make Adrian. You'll quickly learn that everybody submits all the time. It doesn't become a question of if they don't submit at this point, like, it's really weird. And don't get me wrong, I earned my rank, right? I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes it feels like overkill. Makes me feel even more alone sometimes, Like more separate.
Like they say, it can be lonely at the top.
I'm not at the top. Mama L's at the top.
Closer to the top.
Closer to the top. It's one of the reasons I'm grateful that at least you and Kai don't have to do that. Well, I mean, you could, and you technically maybe should, but I would never make you. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's different because Pack.
I know what you mean.
Will only does it in public when we're like in front of other people. It cracks me up what he does because I know he's just doing it. It's almost mocking the way he does it.
He really doesn't like doing it.
He doesn't. He did it in front of Bites of the Week the other day, though. He said Chloe Raya, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh no. He doesn't do that. The only time he's ever called me Chloe Raya
Well,
was when he was specifically trying to keep me from getting it from. He was hurt, and he was basically kind of emotionally hitting back. Not at me, but because he was mad at a different situation, and I was the one who found him in a state he didn't want to be found. You see what I mean? So he said it to try to kind of put a wall there. And I knew it. That's the only other time. So this time when he did it, it was like, I knew what he was doing. Let's be real. He tries to get away with as little as possible when it comes to submission.
I think he tries to get away with a lot. I mean, he got caught out today. 10-point. Found out that he was the one who told the Glade children to give it a bow.
Oh no! What did 10-point do?
She got mad, asked the beta to go confront him, said that if you're gonna do that, bring a Philodox along, which basically meant me. And then I had to watch them bicker and get nowhere for about an hour and a half. But no one frenzied on a full moon, which was nice.
Oh yeah, full moon. Especially for him.
He still can't change back into his human form during a full moon. Poor guy. I heard that.
I didn't know that was a thing for him.
I mean, if he has it hard, then Garrett has it harder, right? He can't even change in the sunlight.
Chloe stops, like she's like mid-chew with her cookie, like holding the cookie up to her mouth, and she does a slow turn of her head towards him.
Jacob is just. Jacob doesn't react too much because he's very tired, but gives a very faint smile of amusement. Yep.
Huh.
He the water called him out on it during the moot. Sneaky motherfucker been hiding it from us this whole time.
I must not have been paying attention at the wrong time. Oh, see, I forgot to watch the moot, damn it.
Yeah.
Technically, she would have been there.
Eric challenged him. You know the rest.
I did know about that part, yeah.
It's weird. I would have thought that Garrett would have chosen a challenge that would have suited him, not Eric. He went with a full-on fist fight. That's kind of weird. God, I went to such lengths to hide his weakness. But then put himself at even more of a disadvantage.
Why would the border bring that up about Garrett, though? What exactly is the point? I mean, yeah, that's a pretty nasty flaw, don't get me wrong.
I don't think the Warders are very impressed with Garrett. I think
I see.
He wasn't seeing much action out of him and wanted to make a point how the fuck he figured that out, though, that he couldn't change in the sun. Well, I guess he's a more observant man than I am.
Man,
Maybe
that
he
is.
used the gift, I don't know.
Oh, I know that that's crazy. I just. How, he's been here so long and I didn't know that. He was here before me.
Should have known. He was never there at the fights. You would have thought a wormfur would have at least been there at the fights, but he never was. I guess it makes sense now.
I. I. I mean, wow. I'm just gonna say. I mean, he's never said anything to make me think that he does look like down on me or anything. But I mean, people look down on me because I don't know. I don't feel ferocious enough. I
I don't know.
mean, when you compare that to not being able to shift half of the day, kind of makes you wonder about priorities, doesn't it?
I think you're just calming to be around, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kind of
I don't know.
lackadaisically reaches out for a cookie, some more tea.
If he can't quite reach it, she'll like totally grab a cookie and stick it in his hand.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. My hands are full of cubs. Your hands are full of legal problems. Both are equally taxing on our brains.
Full of very angry tribes and human. But I think
Yes,
the Cubs are worse. I mean, you got a convict to work with.
convict.
Yeah, that's what I like to call lessons anyway. Convict.
Uh, well, so far, and I'm gonna grab him later to have a bit of a talky talk with him because just because I'm tired doesn't mean I can avoid my duties. Um, so far, he hasn't done anything. And when he met Bites the Week, he was just very submissive. He did everything the right way. He was submissive. He did nothing wrong. With the one time I was out with him, like when we walked out there, like he was pretty much right behind me. Like he, if nothing else, that horrific punishment you guys gave him seems to have done something for him.
Maybe.
He's at least learned some submission.
I think Bites is gonna bite him. Some point, probably.
Probably. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the truth about Bites the Week, though. I don't mind him.
Hmm.
No, I mean he seems to be a pretty reasonable lupus, considering how bad a lupus can go. You know, smiles in the night level. He's not. He doesn't seem to be to smiles in the night level.
Well,
Then again, we
Smiles
are
is
the same
Italian.
rank. Yeah, it's true. He was a red talon, or is a red talon. As far as I know, he's still alive.
Adrian's lived for a long time, I guess.
I don't have a problem with him because, well, he does. I'm pretty sure. I can tell you for a fact he has some very traditional views that I don't agree with. At the same time, these cubs have to. They have to get used to all this. Everybody having a different point of view on everything.
Everyone thinks they're right and that they all have the ultimate answer. And he kind of waves his hands, kind of like jazz hands. Really,
No,
no one has the answer. It's all
yeah,
grey.
it is gray, and yet I still think I'm right. She sort of grins at him.
Yeah, you are right though. You can say
I
that
think
and get
I'm
away
right.
with it. Because somehow
That
you've
doesn't.
managed to stay out of all this bullshit and I'm in the middle of it. Smarter than me.
You're Philodox, and I haven't really stayed out of it entirely. I mean, once I heard that howl, my first thought was I've got to check on Will because, I mean, God, Tlatahine makes that howl and she's got a Fion in her pack. Like, that cannot have gone over well, and they're drama at best. The whole pack.
God, the pack is kind of. It's kind of like it's very dysfunctional. It's very dysfunctional. It's kind of sad because they're very close, but they can't stand each other at the same time. It's kind of like endemic of like nation, really. No one can stand each other. They're all supposed to love each other. I don't get it. It's
Well, no
like a
pack is perfect. I mean, we've had that discussion when Eric left. I mean, most of ours don't turn into fights, but I mean, there's been at least one time that I was pretty mad at you because you decided you were going to talk about calls.
mm,
And there's the time Eric and I got into it. I mean, no pack is perfect. But we did, our fights aren't all public and they don't turn into frenzies.
well, like I think we do actually love each other though, don't we? I think that's why we get along because we do care about each other.
But so do they. I mean, you've talked to Will and possibly Tlate about each other. Like, I've talked to both of them, and I mean, there was a time when I was talking to Tlate, and she was like, she told me she was glad that Will had someone to talk to outside of his pack. Because, and I was like, okay, and she's like, yeah, he's mentioned you a lot lately. And I'm like, well, if she cares enough that Will has somebody to talk to, that kind of tells you she really does care about him.
Yeah, I'm just worried because they do seem to care about each other. It's almost like they seem to hate everything they represent.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I guess it takes a lot of effort to love your enemy.
I wish I could just beat some sense into Tlate's head. That would help a lot. And maybe Aiden too.
I wish I could just. I mean, hey, you're saying you wish rather than you're gonna do it. So you're thinking ahead of most Garu. Most would just do it and assume the problem was solved.
But if I do that, I'm getting involved in pack business, and that is not my place. It's one
No.
thing to talk to someone about it after, or like, because Will's pretty upset. I'm not gonna lie, me. I talked to him yesterday. I'm not gonna go into details, but he has a lot on his plate right now, and he's worried. And
If
I
I
mean,
were a Fenrir, I'd have an excuse to go do it. Because I could beat the shit out of Alien and say, I did that because you're encouraging weakness on 10 point. And because I'm a Fenrir, I can say that's wrong and tell you to go fuck yourself. But he's from my tribe, so I can't do that. And
I actually wanted to talk to him, but he was so busy I couldn't get a hold of him the other day.
it's weird, I can work with him, but I mean, perhaps that's just because I haven't really brought up the whole Gleaming Eye thing, because neither of us really want to go there. But he
Well,
knows if he does. I'm just going to tell him, why would I care? We won.
oh, I think one of us booted.
I'm back.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I was gonna do? It was. I knew that I had heard that he had broken the bow, and if I I'm pretty sure she mentioned the first time I met her that this was like the way she fought, which made me think maybe she wasn't very good at other ways. Was with that bow. So I was gonna go to him and just make the point to him that that in not allowing her to use the weapon that she's good at, he's weakening us as a whole.
Well,
Because
I,
and if he wants her to learn another way until she's better at it, that's fine. But at least at this point, I was trying to work within bounds of, staying out of pack business kind of thing. Even though it just pisses me off that he thinks it's okay to just break someone's weapon for no reason because he wasn't good enough to do it himself. I mean,
well, he doesn't want her to live. I think.
well, then they shouldn't have allowed her in their pack.
I think they just want the reputation for saying we turned a Metis good because Metis are bad. That's all they're looking for.
Well, you know what? She seems to accept it, and that's fine. I mean, I think Tlatahin would too. She finds it awkward that people don't treat her badly.
I don't think it's like I think it's very bad. I think I think they should learn to give themselves some self-value. You know, like Talate just did that when she made her howl. She took on her responsibility and gave herself some credit. Unfortunately, she used that to cause more discrimination and conflict and likely bloodshed. So that's kind of sad. But
Against Metis, which she is, which means she
yeah,
still devalued herself.
because she's stupid. Like,
Oh, she's not stupid. Of all the things she might be, stupid is not one of them.
I mean, she's smart on certain things. I mean, she's certainly not honest. She's
Well,
lied
no,
several
no.
times.
Oh, heck yeah, she has.
It's kind of sad to see. She doesn't need to. She just feels pressured to.
I kind of shrugged. She's like, I'm not going to be someone who says that people shouldn't lie. There are times that you need to lie. There are times that we have to say certain things and do things certain ways. And, there's a need for it. I mean, well, I mean, you know my backstory. I spent my entire childhood. I spent until well, actually, I lied about my heritage up to the point that I joined the Striders. Actually, it was pretty much immediately afterwards that I told my packmates about my mother. And even then, I still didn't give the whole story. I didn't give any names. I didn't mention who my dad was. It was what I had been taught to be, what I have always been. And it was for my own safety. At least I think it was. At least my parents believed it was, and that's what matters. My point being, there is a time and a place for lying. I don't think her lying was for anything like that. It wasn't to protect the veil. It wasn't to stay alive. It's to make herself, I don't know, feel better. It's my guess.
I think you've always been great.
It's been great.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
But I've always been great.
Yep, that's fine. That's it. That's just.
I don't understand.
That's fine. I'm difficult to understand right now. I'm weird.
Well, you should explain this to me. How was I always great?
You've always been great. You've always, like, next to Pink, you're the one other person that looked after me since I was like a little baby cub.
I didn't do much. I just ran into you once or twice and we talked a bit.
Outside of my family, only you and Pink came to my hospital bed. Because everyone else is terrified. Because I should be. Because, I'm creepy.
Well, creepy is just a factor that comes with being us.
Well, I don't think you're creepy. I think you're pretty great. Clearly.
Have you been drinking again, Jacob?
No, I'm just really tired.
I'm sorry.
He actually does end up kind of closing his eyes, and he seemed like sunk more deeply into the sofa to the point where he ends up kind of resting his head on your shoulder.
She'll let him. I mean, she's not going to put an arm around him because that gets real awkward. But if he puts his head there, she's not going to fight him or anything. Just because Tugaru, you know how that gets. It gets real weird sometimes.
Don't worry, Jacob would have first to call you out on it.
He would have what?
You would have been the first to call you out on it.
Well, but she wasn't. She wouldn't. It would not have been creepy arm around, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just like she'll just be like. I should warn you. I did tell Joe to try to find you, and any other Philodox he can get his hands on. I know you're busy, and I'm sorry to drop that on you. He's got to get his head around all the different points of view that there are on the litany. more so than the other cup for sure. And he doesn't like Balion at all. Does not want to do it, but I told him he had to.
He sent me a letter.
Okay, good. At least he tried.
Well, not really. He kind of sent me a letter about like how he thinks Will and Felix having some sort of disagreement is like a litany breach. It's weird. That's okay. He'll learn.
Really? Because that is not the case.
Like, okay, one likes the Weaver, one doesn't like the Weaver. That's the most milquetoast shit I've dealt with all month.
I told Will that we would help him. We talked about this. You, me, and Kai did.
Yeah.
Because we can't leave the set. That's an issue, and I don't care what Felix thinks. And yeah, okay, look, I've made peace with Felix enough to the point that just because I don't want to live with being constantly pissed off at this guy, it's just not worth it. It doesn't mean I approve of. It doesn't mean I think that he was right. Like if he thinks that, if he's the one who did this with the Weaver spirits, then there's something really wrong.
Faustian bargain. Don't make a deal with Mother Spider unless you're willing to pay up.
Chloe just sort of blinks and she's like, other Steve, Jared Bluebell III?
Isn't that cool to weave a Mother Spider? Whatever, I don't care.
That wasn't Mother Spider, that was an Ananasi.
Well, I mean, he's just pleasant. He was alright. He's just kind of, he's not Mother Spider though. He's more like fucking scary ass human tarantula, which there isn't really a nice name for. Well, actually, no, there is one. It's called Ananasi. But hey, he's alright. I haven't seen him in ages. What happened to him?
Oh, see, I have no idea how to answer that.
Oh well. I'm sure he's gone about his separate way back to wherever the hell he came from.
Yeah.
He was nice. It was nice while it lasted. I mean, it wasn't really a long-term engagement, so I guess.
You mean the cyber realm?
Oh, he came from there? Jesus.
Yeah. We never told you about that, I guess, huh?
You told me about him, but I don't think you ever told me where he came from. I know you guys went to the Cyber Realm.
We did.
Guess a lot of spiders like hanging out in the Weaver's realm. What a surprise!
Yeah, it was.
That's kind of like his. It's the most half-hearted attempt at sarcasm you've ever heard.
She just kind of shakes her head sort of sideways since he's still kind of laying there. She's like, yeah, it was me, Aaron, Eric, and Ping who went. And it was one of the weirdest little adventures I've ever had. But you know what? Anytime you can see Aaron, best of black spiral dancer at poker on an umbral train, and then the black spiral dancer frenzies and the train eats him, it's a good day.
Oh yeah, I heard you beat you killed Spirals who strip poker. That's
It was
kind of
strip
beautiful.
poker. It was just poker, and it was Aaron. It was totally Aaron who did it. The rest of us just watched and admired the beauty of the situation.
It's definitely a very beautiful situation.
It was. It was.
That's our
one of the
next quest to get you to beat Spell Dancer, not just poker, strip poker. And then it dies because you beat it at strip poker.
Beat who at poker?
The road to Gaia is paved with the loss of many clothes.
We just have to get them all to play poker.
Yep.
This is a plan. We'll have to see if Kai's willing to get involved here. She might have to shift to Hamid.
I don't want to take her out of her comfort zone. She said.
She probably wouldn't care because, to be honest, like she doesn't usually wear clothes.
I hope she realizes if she wants to go out, that's something we might have to work on.
No, I mean, like we've had her off the sept before. Like she goes out for ice cream and whatever all else.
Yeah.
Like she's been in a lot of different places. She's not afraid to go out and do things. I mean, typically one of us has to pay for her, or she has like these weird crumpled up bills that I'm not even sure where she got them from. And she doesn't quite know how much to use. It just gets awkward. It's a lot easier if someone else just pays for her.
Well, the Silver Fangs are not known for being short on money.
Well, I've never known you to be short on money. I don't worry about the other Silver Fangs.
I'm not super rich like the great King Gerard, but I will be one day.
Great King Gerard. If I had a drink, I'd toast him right now.
Damn right. Best damn Silver Fang I ever knew.
I only met him once, but damn, was it memorable.
He introduced me to the nation. With
Did he introduce you to Ophelia?
No, Ophelia was the one who found me, along with Aaron and Ping.
Oh, okay.
And of course. That Song Slinger fellow.
Who?
Song Slinger, the Bone Nora Galliard.
Oh.
Shame.
Out of character, I don't know if she knew. What's her name?
I don't think I ever met him. Oh well.
Yeah, her character, I don't know if she did.
Yeah, he was a boner and he's about as smart as Cumber was. Shot me in the face. No, he shot the.
Jesus.
He shot. No, he shot the till because he was interested in making a quick buck. But because he made a loud noise and I'm frenzying, I'm saying, nope, that's bad. I'm gonna kill you now. Fortunately, everyone else was very reasonable and pinned me down.
Sounds like what I had to do. The great big grapple hug with Joe. Yep.
It's so easy to just pin someone down half the time.
By the way, I don't know how often you're in Queens, but if you ever need a place to crash, I have an extra bedroom. And it's just me now, so
I'm sorry
just
about
like
Dimitri.
let me know. Oh.
He said he'd worry about Dimitri in kind of a sleepy voice. But looks genuinely upset if you look on him. Still resting on your head. A head, shoulder.
Oh, screw it. If he's actually that sleepy, she actually is going to kind of tuck an arm around him so that he can lay there more comfortably. If he's actually that sleepy, she'll just kind of like lift one arm sort of gently. It's like it's not even like it's weird, but at the same time, like it's who cares? And she's just yeah, me too. I mean, it sucks. I have a house full of his stuff. His PlayStation still sitting in front of the TV. So wherever he was going, he apparently didn't need any of that junk.
I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm the guy who said I'd host you, and here I am. You're looking after me again. Guess that's why you're the alpha.
No, I'm pretty sure it had to do with me being beta and, the fact that I was close to Adrian. Pretty sure it's your fault that we're still together as a pack, so,
There's kind of a big grin that emanates from his sleepy face. As he kind of like has an arm wrapped around your arm to kind of make himself more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because you shuffled him a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. She feels like she's getting all tangled up here. In a really awkward next to each other kind of way. No. I mean, it's still worth it. I mean, he waited how long for me, right? I can do it too. It just sucks the timing of it more than anything else, I guess.
If he's as stubborn as you are, he'll make it. I'll make sure you stick around in the meantime.
Sounds good. I feel like we're on the Enterprise now and Riker's going. I'll make sure you stay safe, Captain.
I'll make sure you stay safe, Captain.
I think I like Captain better than Alpha. Shannon's actually just kind of laughing at just the absurdity of this conversation at this point. She's laughing much like I am. Oh, Jacob, I think you need a nap.
You think so?
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking that might be the thing.
She's so tired. And so many people hurting each other all the time.
I'll tell you what. You take a nap. And I'm going to sit here and do absolutely nothing for like, I don't know, until I feel like doing something again, which will probably be when I go talk to Lessons. And that way, if someone comes by, I can, make sure that you get to continue to sleep.
Thanks, Chloe. No. I mean it when I said I love you. You're like my big sister. Sorry I can't look after you more.
Nobody can protect anybody entirely. It'll be okay. And she'll kind of like squeeze his shoulders and then just sort of like lean back a little bit. And she's gonna grab her phone and actually just like go to pull up probably Facebook or something stupid. But before she does, she'll kind of look down at him and just be like, "Love you too, Jacob. But you should sleep."
And you notice that Jacob has in fact drifted off. As he appears just kind of resting beside you.
Fair enough.
Up against
She has
you.
cookies and tea within reach. And, a charged phone and a place nobody's expecting her to be. This is all a win as far as she's concerned. So she'll settle in to sit there because she's probably still at least partly propped up on her.
He is.
Probably have the same there.
As Jacob finally kind of gives in to the exhaustion he's been holding back this entire time. His big sister keeps an eye on him. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, player, for playing. And I think we'll see you next time.